takes place in the vast and ancient land of Persia, where, in a desert village, there once lived two brothers. The eldest brother was Qasim, a very wealthy and successful merchant. The younger brother was Ali Baba, a poor woodcutter. Qasim was as devious and mean as Ali Baba was honest and hardworking. One day, while cutting wood on the outskirts of the village, Ali suddenly heard the sound of raucous voices. He quickly went to explore and was met with a frightening sight.
And now, my brave men, into the cave with our treasure!
It was the infamous robber, Papa, and his band of murderous thieves.
Open sesame!
Open sesame?
Ali Baba could not believe his eyes. The Paka had commanded the rock to open with two simple words, two magical words that he would not forget. Now, more curious than ever, he waited and watched, being ever so careful not to make a sound. Suddenly, the rock opened once again, and the thieves came out without the treasure.
Himasus Nepo!
Amazed and still frightened, Ali Baba remained frozen in place until the 40 thieves were well out of sight. Then, no longer able to contain his curiosity, he carefully approached the spot where he had seen the rock open.
I wonder if it will work for me. It may just be the Paka's voice the rock obeys. Well, I'll know in a minute. Open sesame! It worked!
Very cautiously, Ali Baba entered the cave, fearful of what he might find besides treasure. But then, he saw it. More gold and jewels than he had ever dreamed possible.
I'm rich! I'm finally wealthy!
But even with all his sudden wealth, Ali Baba was not a greedy young man. He had taken only a few small sacks of gold coins, placing them on his donkey and covering them with branches.
Master Nepo!
Remembering the magic words to reseal the cave, he watched as the rock slid back into place. That night, anxious to count his gold, he immediately sent his wife next door to Brother Qasim's to borrow a measure.
Now, we both know my brother is very poor. If he wants to measure something...
That's why I left some syrup in the bottom of the measure. Whatever he places in it must be of value, and some of it will stick.
Now, there you are, and make sure you bring it right back when you're finished with it.
Ali Baba quickly measured the gold, then returned the cup as promised.
Look what my brother measures. Gold coins. Where would he get gold?
Obviously, he found it.
That much I figured out for myself, wife with face of camel.
Now to find out where he found it. He'll spill in a minute if you give him your slave girl in return.
Any other ideas, Pig Eyes?
None that'll do the trick as good as that.
And Morgiana will be mine?
Just tell me what the password is.
Open sesame to open and Amasis Nepo to close.
Riches, riches, filthy riches.
The very next morning at sunrise, Qasim, along with every pack horse he owned, was standing at the door to the Paka's cave.
This is it. Now, open sesame! I did it, it worked, Amasis Nepo. Now open sesame. Amasis Nepo.
But not even Qasim, in all his greed, could have envisioned such a mountain of treasure.
Chest right here, it should do quite nicely. Who am I kidding? I'll take it all.
And so Kasim began to load the blanket with all that it could possibly hold, and also a great deal more than he would be able to carry. But finally, he did manage to drag the treasure near the door.
Open Caraway. Now, what was that word? Open Dillweed! May whoever operates this store have their tent warmed by the breath of 1,000 camels! Listen to me! I said, open the stupid door!
But the door would not budge, and Kasim, now frightened and exhausted, had fallen to his knees in despair. Unable to remember the magic words, he feared for the worst, and he was not to be disappointed.
Oh, great Baka, I was going to steal anything.
What's in that bag over there? Laundry? No one who tries to steal from me ever lives to try again.
Having managed to learn from Kasim that it was Ali Baba who had first discovered his secret treasure, the Paka sent his trusted Ahmed of the Beady Eyes to Ali Baba's village. There, following Kasim's directions, he was to locate the house of Ali Baba and mark it so that the Paka and his men would be able to find it by night. For not even the brave and fearless Paka was foolish enough to attempt murder or abduction by the light of day. Finding the right house, Ahmed quickly placed an X on the door and left the village. Not, however, before he had been spotted by the slave girl, Morgiana.
I just know that beady-eyed man was up to no good. Now what could it be?
As Morgiana was now Ali Baba's servant, she was not about to take any chances. By the time the Paka and his men arrived that night, she had placed identical X's on every door of every house in the entire neighborhood.
Well, which one was it?
I'm not sure. I only marked one house.
How come all the houses are marked if you only marked one of them, Hummus Brain? What did you have in mind, having me play multiple choice?
I swear I marked only one. But I'm so confused, I'm afraid I've forgotten which.
My most trusted man. I must now resort to Plan B, I guess.
This plan was more complicated. It involved a caravan of 10 camels carrying 40 jars, one of which was filled with oil. The other 39 contained the Paka's men.
I have come here from very, very far to sell my very fine oil in your very fine village. But I can't find a place to rest my head.
Well, I might be
You are
able to...
most kind. Many, many, many thanks. May you reap only what you have sown, my dear sir.
And may you reap all that you have sown. Please, my house awaits. I hope you have found everything to your liking.
Yes, quite.
But in truth, having Ali Baba and his wife retire for the night would have been far more to the Paka's liking.
Forgive me, Master, but I'm afraid we do not have enough oil left to keep the lamp burning.
Oh, but perhaps our guest would allow us to use some of his oil, Morgiana.
Sorry, but I don't have any oil. Oh, I have a whole caravan full, that's right. But just use the jug marked with an O, will you?
Surely. Thank you.
As Morgiana went to fetch oil for the lamps, she couldn't help thinking about this oil merchant. There was something very strange and familiar about him, if she could only remember what it was.
I know him.
You know who? Who said that?
What?
I said, who said that?
I knew he was no oil merchant.
Suddenly, everything made sense to Morgiana, and she knew she must act quickly. Finding the oil, she took it to the kitchen and heated it to a boil, and made short work of the evil men who had been hiding in wait to kill her master. She now knew that the leader of these men was none other than the feared robber Paka. Now she would perform for her master's guest. Now she would put on the act. She could not tell Ali Baba because he would not believe her. He was too kind and naive, but she knew. It had been dark last night, and she had had only a small glimpse of him through the window in her quarters. But now there was no mistaking that evil face. She moved ever closer, her scimitar whirling in the air.
Morgiana! Morgiana, have you lost your mind? This man is my guest. Have you gone mad?
Master, he is an evil robber Paka who wishes to kill you. Now go from this house. Do not ever return, for certain death awaits you.
Attack! I'm ordering you to help me!
There is no one left to help. May you come back in your next life as a camel's hump. Now be gone!
Yes, ma'am. Many, many thanks. I'm going. See, I'm gone. Take the treasure. It's yours. I'm finished. Never again.
The next morning, Ali Baba opened the cave and shared the treasure with the entire village. But the one person more deserving of reward than anyone was interested in more important things.
Hello, Abdallah.
Huh? Morgiana, you look beautiful.
Well, in case you were wondering, Abdallah, Morgiana can marry. She's no longer a slave, you know.
You mean that I am free? Oh, thank you!
There's an old saying, what goes around comes around. Now, whether or not that saying originated with Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, we will never know. Though somehow, I can't help but believe that